Just checking that we are live. Oh, there we are. In 3, 2, 1. We start. Reveal your true nature. There we are. Okay, perfect. 3, 2, 1, and we start. Thank you so much to Laura at More Yoga for making this transmission possible at the end, at the very last minute, because for some reason we didn't have it planned, but we are very happy. I am very, very happy to be here with you today. We may not have many people live joining today because, as I said, we just came up with this transmission. We didn't plan it in advance, so people didn't know that we were going to be live. However, we are, and I have an amazing program for you today. And we're going to talk about emotions, obviously, because I like to talk about emotions, because through the emotions is that I have come to be the person that I am today, and be able to understand a bit more, to be able to go back in time, or look back and see how the emotions that I had changed the way I saw myself and I saw the world around me. And as I continue my process of self-discovery, self-realization, and I managed to understand emotions in a different way, especially negative emotions in a different way, under a different light, is that I've been able to learn from them and then see them move out. And this is something that I wanted to share with you, because I believe that is very, very important at this time, that we relate to our emotions in a different way, especially the negative ones, because obviously we all like the good ones, the positive ones. We all want to be happy. We all want to be joyful. We all want to be generous and creative and all those amazing emotions. But what happens when we are not that? And this is the difficult part. This is when we challenge ourselves to see the world around us in a different way, the world around us and the world within us. So let's talk about these emotions. And I wanted to ask people live if they could come up with different emotions or give me some ideas so we could talk about those emotions. But since I am doing this probably by myself, and I think, yes, I am all by myself right now, I will come up with these emotions myself. And I would like probably to talk first about depression. I'm going to make a video, and you will probably see a video on More Yoga on demand about depression. However, in this moment, I would like to talk about depression because it's a wonderful, difficult, but wonderful emotion that has so much to offer us in terms of understanding, of insights, of way to see ourselves in a different light. So how can we understand depression in a different way? Well, let me tell you one thing first. One thing, it's very, very important not to feel bad for feeling bad. And this connects with depression very, very deeply, because as we begin to feel depressed, we feel bad because we're feeling depressed. And it's like we are double whamming our emotions and our psyche and our body, because for some reason we're beginning to feel down. Either we are tired, or we have a very challenging, let's say, way of thinking about ourselves and the world. We have insecurities, we have anger, we don't connect with the world, we feel isolated, we feel like we are not enough, that we don't deserve things. And that amount of beliefs create, obviously, their own emotions. And we may try when we are young, in our 20s or even younger, to just go and push out, just, yes, something, I can do it. But sometimes we can't. We've been bullied. The world around us just kind of pushes down, and we just feel depressed. And we just feel like, oh, gosh, do I really have to go out? Do I really have to be out there and do everything that is expected of me? And sometimes we do it the best we can, but at some point we can't. We cannot continue pretending that everything is right, and we have to face the fact that we are depressed. And it's okay. And this is probably the most difficult part, because you say, how could it be okay to be depressed? How could it be okay when you don't want to even breathe, when you don't want to enjoy life, when you don't want to see people, when you don't want to work, when you don't want to get up from bed? How could it be right? Well, I think it is right, because first and foremost, it's a part of you, and it's there for a reason. And I know that we have so much commitments, and we have responsibilities, and we have ways of, I don't know, that's we have to make things work in one way or another. We just have to carry on, as they say here in England. It's like this is the motto of this country. Just carry on. Just doesn't matter how difficult the road is. Doesn't matter how bad you feel. Just carry on. And this has been a strength of this culture. I believe I've seen it because in very difficult situations like war, only the ability to carry on regardless of your own emotions is that has made this country as great as it has been and is. So yes, carry on has its moments of greatness when we are during war, for example. But we are not on war right now. And just carry on, regardless of how you feel and how you see yourself and how you see the world around us, is not really that healthy. It is healthy in moments of extreme chaos, like war. Yes, in those moments, and you're rebuilding a nation, yes, you just have to carry on and just do the best you can, and don't think too much, because if you stop yourself to think, you might not be able to carry on. So don't think and just go. But right now, you have the chance to stop. And your body is telling you to stop. And somehow, you just feel like you don't have the energy, you don't have the motivation, you don't have the spark, the inner fire to say, yes, I can. Because everything around you and within you says, no, I can't. And it's in this moment when we have a choice, because we always have a choice. And the choice is, how am I going to feel about the way I'm feeling? How am I going to feel about the way I'm feeling? And normally, the answer is, well, I'm going to feel bad because I don't want to feel this way. Oh. So I want to try absolutely everything in my power to not feel that way. So what do? Well, we rely on our addictions. Our addictions are amazing and keeping us afloat. because we take few glasses of wine, and I feel immediately like life is better. I just want to chat and I forget about the problems and I want to dance. Or I do whatever kind of drug I'm addicted to. I smoke it, I inhale it, I do whatever I do, and I inject it sometimes, and I eat it, I have sex with it, whatever it is that you kind of addiction, you just go for it because it makes you feel good, and it just kind of makes you forget about how real depressed you actually are, and that it's okay. I know it's difficult to say, how could it be okay? Well, it is okay because now it's actually socially acceptable to have your own level of addictions and to say, well, you know, Stefan, I have to take my antidepressants. I have to take my 2 glasses of wine at night. I take, well, I watch porn. I watch whatever it is. I eat series of Netflix like if they were the last breath on earth. Whatever you do is like it's socially acceptable because everyone is there. Everyone right now, it feels like we are all suffering from the same malady, from the same illness. And that is, we are actually very depressed. We are very, very depressed because, well, number one, we don't know why we're depressed. And we think that we are doing everything that is right because we work, we get up, we take a shower, we sometimes do our yoga, we do our exercises, we eat properly. Now I'm vegan and everything should be absolutely fine. I exercise. I might have a beautiful boyfriend, girlfriend, wife. My cat absolutely adores me. My dog is a joy to be around with. So I have everything to be happy, everything to be joyful, everything to be just feel like I am on top of the world. So why don't I? Why I don't feel like I'm on top of the world? Why I feel like it's not enough? Like I'm not there. I should be there, but I'm not. And that brings a big series of emotions, like a massive uh, avalanche of emotions, because you feel guilty for not feeling good, for not feeling so grateful for what you have. You feel angry with yourself and with the universe for not just being like perfect. What's wrong with me? And when we don't get answers, when we don't get answers to all the questions that we have, we just begin to lose hope. And when we lose hope, darling, that's the moment when you go down. That's the moment when everything just stops. The clock stops, the ideas stop, and you just go into yeah. Well, just breathe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my God. Can you recognize this moment? I've had millions of those moments. And it has been just a matter of diving deeper than the deepest of my emotions to begin to see from outside what was going on and begin to ask the right questions. Because what's wrong with me is not the right question. The question is, where does all this began? How can I make it better? Where is the weight that is bringing me down? When was the first time that I felt like this? What was the events in that moment that created a pattern in my life? How could I break that pattern? Why am I hurting myself so much? How can I stop hurting myself? Do I love myself? How can I love myself? What changes do I need to bring into my life? Why those changes scares me so much? And on and on and on. And you just begin to ask the question that you just know that it will probably create even more questions. And that is what we call going down the rabbit hole. And you go down and down and down and down until you reach rock bottom. And that is when the only way outside rock bottom is up. So we have to get at some point to that point. Because however you are trying to cope, and that's fine. I mean, if you have suicidal extreme thoughts, then you have to be very careful, because your mind is very, very, very fragile. And you are in a very vulnerable position, and you need to ask for help. Please, 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 you have to ask for help. Because because suicide and running away from problems is not the solution. It may feel like the solution because you feel like you cannot cope with it. And that is fine. That's absolutely fine. But that's why we are here. That's why we connect with each other. That's why the whole idea of we are one kind of makes sense and becomes practical. Because it's in this situation when you find someone who's really, really, really struggling, that you realize that you can find someone who has been in the same position where you find yourself now and has somehow found a little piece of the puzzle that helped them keep going, that helped them let go of all that weight and sadness and pain and difficulty, and begin to see themselves and the world around them in a different perspective, in a different filter, with a different fresh breath of fresh air. And that is something that I bring for you today, because I've been that low. I was depressed. Probably, I think that I began getting depressed about around 3 years of age. I think even before, but I think before that I was angry. But at 3 years of age was the first time that I found myself asking, what's wrong with me? Why they don't love me? Why they are rejecting me? Why they're abusing me? Why they say they love me and they push me out? Why they don't hear my problems? Why they don't care? And that's the first time when I see myself, my beautiful inner child, I can still see him under a table just trying to hide from the world. And that image I carried on. I carried with me throughout the years. And I wanted to always hide. And I always wanted to I was looking outside and said, why? What's wrong with me? Because obviously at that time, at that age, when we're that young, you feel that it's your fault. That it's because of you. You did something wrong because they are good. They are good. You are just not good enough for them. That's how we feel. That's how I felt. Oh, yes. And I carried that burden for a very, 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 very long time. And it has taken me a huge amount of determination. I've been suicidal, and I tried to kill myself. And thanks God I didn't succeed, because then I wouldn't be able to be here today. but I was very lucky. I was very lucky to be open, because in one of those moments I had an opportunity to listen to myself, to a part of myself that is beyond trauma. And that part said three magnificent sentences that I still carry with me, and I haven't in my house. One is, don't give up. And I repeat it, and believe me, I can feel my emotions, because when I heard these messages, I was ready to give up. And somehow when I heard a part of me saying, with all the love, all the care, all the desire to truly help and support, I believed, and that gave me hope. The first message was, don't give up. And that was like what? The second one was, you are not alone. And the third one is, I love you. Man, woman, child, whoever you are. Oh my God. Those words made me shift the perspective of my life. I realized that the love, the care, the understanding, the guidance that I always wanted and craved with all my heart was inside of me. I never believed it, because I never felt it. I never experienced that. So how could I believe in something that I never had? I never got it from my parents. I never got it from the people around me. So why would I believe that I deserve or I have access to anything as powerful as the care and the love and the guidance of this universe, of myself, of just guidance in general, love in general? I didn't. I was like, I'm worthless. Nobody loves me. Nobody will ever love me, ever. Why? Because I cannot love myself. I don't like myself. I cannot see myself in the mirror. I hate myself. I hate my past. I hate my present. I hate my future. I hate everything about me. I just want to disappear and never come back again. So I've been there. And from those moments, I began resurfacing, coming back. And I know now that the only reason why I came back is to deliver the same messages now to you. There is a massive power within each and every of the negative, dark emotions that you might be experiencing right now. The only thing you need to do is to be able to look at them without emotional attachment. That is magic. Magic. That is what we call miracle. That is beyond divine. That is pure universal achievement. Because I think even Joe Dispenza is an author that if you haven't heard of him, you should. Especially if you have a very strong logic mind. He is a very, let's say, I would say, enlightened individual who has, through difficulty, understand his own mind and been able to present his studies to the world. And I think it's quite remarkable what he has done. So Joe Dispenza, and his book right now that I'm reading is You Are the Placebo. Really good. And so what we bring about is this message that everything that we are looking outside, that savior, that enlightenment, that health, that happiness, that love, that abundance and richness and fame and blah, 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 whatever you're looking out there, it's within yourself. You may not believe it because you haven't experienced it. But right now, in front of you, you have someone who has had the grace and the fortune to have had that, to have had that ability, an opportunity to taste and experience the grace of this universe in all its magnificence. Because once I was down there, like really down there, I managed to be up here. And I wouldn't be able to tell you this if I hadn't had the experience. This is not something that I learned in a book. I didn't read about this. I know it happens, and it can happen to transcend, transform yourself from down there, the depression, the darkness, the sadness, the anxiety, the anger, the whatever it is that brings you down, to up here, to all the dreams and admiration of yourself, that new vision of greatness. It can happen. And you maybe right now you are somewhere in between. It's about, I'm not really that depressed. And I don't really have like a lot of expectations or dreams about life. I mean, I'm just living my day by day life the best way I can, and that's fine. And that's fine. And that's fine. However, if you have a little flame within yourself that is burning, and it says, every time that you look at it, it says to you, oh my God, you are destined for greatness. You have so much potential. You can do anything you want. And it invites you to think about what it is that you truly want. If you are that person, maybe you don't have to be that low to go that high. Maybe you can start from wherever you are. Maybe you are one of the lucky people on this planet that didn't have to go through massive amount of trauma to be able to wake up to a very different understanding of what reality is. Maybe you are just beautiful and you just need to use that beauty to make this world even more beautiful, and you just don't know how to. And maybe this video can help you to see the potential that there is in probably not feeling much. Maybe not depression, maybe just not feeling. Like, something, I don't feel much. I don't feel I'm in love. I don't feel I'm not in love. I don't feel happy, but I don't feel depressed. I don't feel angry, but I don't feel motivated to do anything either. I don't feel sick, but I don't feel full of energy. I sleep, but I also feel very tired. And you're in this kind of in-between worlds. And that is okay. But I will invite you to begin a new process, because now I'm going to talk about Tappilini. Tappilini is this practice that I bring to you that will allow you just that, to see yourself from a very different angle, to see yourself from outside the box, from outside yourself. How? Because we can talk about the emotion that you're feeling and not having the emotional attachment to it, and at the same time connect with a higher perspective of yourself that will allow you to understand better that emotion. So we're talking about sadness or the not feeling, like I don't feel much feeling. And you say, okay, I'm gonna sit myself with this emotion, and I'm going to just do my Tappilini and see what comes out of it. And I will invite you to take a challenge. I invite people to take challenges. If you are very new at this, start with 3 days. But if you are good at meditation, if you already have some discipline, kind of strength and muscle strength in you about discipline and determination, then I will invite you to do at least a minimum of 33 days and up to 90 days of this meditation. I've been doing this meditation for almost 3 years, which is almost 1,000 days. I do miss one or the other, but I would say that 97% of my time, of my days, I do my Tappilini every single day. And sometimes I do it 2 and up to 3 times a day. So, for example, today, right now, it's going to be my second time. This is my second time that I'm going to be, because I did my one in the morning. So what it is Tappilini? Tappilini is a beautiful practice to self-enlighten yourself. And in this process, we detach from the fight, flight, or freeze response of the nervous system by touching or tapping on meridian points that we have in our body. These meridian points that we tap are part of EFT, which is it's a emotional freedom technique. And it's a very, very, very powerful technique that is so powerful that veterans of war use it to assist or heal their PTSD. So imagine people who have been to war use this very simple tapping technique to detach from the trauma, from the fight, flight, or freeze response of the nervous system. At the same time, in Tappilini, which is not the same as tapping, Tappilini, which sounds like Fusolini or Spaghettini, we repeat a mantra, Guru, Guru, WAHE, Guru, Guru, Ramdas, Guru. And this may sound like gibberish, but it's not. They are very, very powerful Kundalini words, mantra. It's a mantra, and it's called the miracle mantra of Guru Ramdas, and it's truly miracles. The idea of this mantra is entering into a cycle of repetition that allows you to transcend your mind, transcend your emotions, and go beyond the crisis of the mind and into the wisdom of the universe. You transcend experience and go into the oneness. I have experienced that myself. Why do you think I've been doing it for so many years? Just the mantra, I've been doing it non-stop since 2009. That means that I have 10 years repeating this mantra. And in 2018, was that I put together these 2 techniques, tapping and Kundalini, and I realized that I have in my hands an amazing technique that I needed to share with the world, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing it with you. So, very simple. Guru, Guru, WAHE, Guru, Guru, Ramdas, Guru. We repeat that 5 times in one breath. We need to breathe very deep, and this is where we use pranayama. Pranayama is this powerful breathing that allows you to breathe consciously. And we also, because we have to repeat the mantra 5 times in one breath, we have to slow down our breathing. And that means that we breathe only 4 to 5 times per minute. That's very slow, very slow. So how does it sound? Let me do it for you. I breathe very deeply, and I repeat, Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. And I repeat that cycle 108 times. It may sound like a lot, but it's not, because I have corroborated many times that in this cycle that lasts about 25 minutes, what happens is that you take out of the drawers that you have, like from the darkness of the corners of your soul or your mind or your subconscious, you bring whatever situation you want to bring out. It will kind of linger in front of you while you kind of detach from it, thanks to the tapping. And while you repeat Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru, in all this process, you begin to let it go, and at the same time you receive wisdom, you receive insights. It might be that at the beginning could be only feeling peaceful, or it could be that you feel, I don't know, that you know what to do with it. So for that, I'm going to play a mantra. This audio is to guide me, and it can also guide you to keep the rhythm. It's not easy to breathe very deeply and to repeat a mantra 5 times, 108 times. I've tried it without the audio, and it's not easy. I needed the beats, and no, I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you are new to this. You only have to go to my website, www.tappilini.com with double P, www.tappilini.com, and download the audio for free, totally free, and then you can play it, and then you can do your own. You can do your own Tappilini, and it sounds like this. Okay, so get ready, because we're going to practice. We get ready because we're going to practice now our Tappilini. Move around. If you've been sitting all this time, take a deep breath in. Walk around, get some water if you want to, and get comfortable. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure that your both feet are flat on the floor, just to feel grounded. Just make sure that you're grounded. And if you're sitting on the floor, also very straight back, shoulders back, and just do the best we can. I always say to people, oh, don't worry, just do the best you can. The mantra can be challenging at the beginning. That's okay. I will recommend you that you download the audio and just to listen to it, so you can get used, you can familiarize yourself with it, and just follow along and see how you feel. I would invite you to rate your emotion, whichever one you want to work with, in a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is very little, like, well, I don't feel this emotion, but I want to work with it because it just nags me. And 10 would be, oh my God, I have to work with this emotion because I just I cannot deal with it anymore. I'm just, it's killing me. So in the scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Where is this emotion? And just have it in mind. And before I start Tappilini, we're going to tune in. So rub your palms together. Bring your palms to prayer position in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to repeat a mantra for tuning in. This is to honor the Kundalini teachings and the Kundalini energy, the Kundalini as the yoga of consciousness. immediately, as soon as I put my hands here, I just enter this space of I just center myself. I just feel like I can just fall asleep. Okay, so the mantra that we're going to say, they're going to repeat right now, they call the Adi mantra. And it goes, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Obviously, with a bit more of a heart. So just try to follow me and do the best you can if you want to follow. All right? Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in to start. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deep. Exhale. And relax the posture. And now I'm going to play the mantra. And get ready. I'm going to give you cues of which points to touch or to tap the first round. And then I will just let you go with the flow. All right? Let's go. Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru. Hands. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. The other hands. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Come back to the other hand. Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Top of the head. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Eyebrows. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Side of the eye. Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Onto the eye. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Chin. Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Collarbone. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Heart. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Ribs. Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. And top of the head again with the other hand. Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe 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 Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Continue. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru 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 Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas 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 Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Inhale deep. Exhale. Stay in silence for a few seconds, up to minutes. Feel your body. Feel the vibration. Ask yourself, on the scale of 1 to 10, where my emotion feels. And see how it's different from before or at the beginning of this meditation or practice. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out and slowly come back. And we are a little bit over time. We're very, very happy to be here with you. How are you feeling? Very important. How are you feeling? Send me messages. Connect with me. Please visit the website tappilini.com so you can download your audio. Also, you will find history about how Tappilini began. You will know my mother, who's a very, very important piece of this puzzle, who was the one who actually invited me to share Tappilini with everyone. And I think it's a beautiful situation that my mom is involved in this process. And you will get to know me a little bit better. And obviously you will have the opportunity to practice Tappilini. So visit the website www.tappilini.com. Subscribe to the channels. Thank you so much. More yoga. Thank you to all of you. Please stay in touch and stay blessed and do your Tappilini. Until next time, Satnam, Namaste, hasta la próxima. Ciao. Reveal your true nature.